Okay, question number 8, true or false? There are indications that Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, did his ministry just to earn his bread. True or false? So we read about another character in the book of Amos. His name is Amaziah. He is the priest of Bethel. Bethel is a place, prominent place in northern kingdom of Israel. He did his ministry. So can we say that he did his ministry just to earn his bread? I want you to judge from what he spoke. And this time we are referencing the NIV. Okay, a few seconds left. I will give you the full time. You can go into your go into the Bible and check. Are there any indications that the Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, did his ministry just to earn his bread? True. Most of you have got it right. True. Okay, what's the reference? Which chapter do we read? Meet Amaziah.
It's Amos 7.
Amos 7. Thank you. Thank you. Verse 12. Yes. Amaziah said to Amos, "Get out, you seer," a prophet. "Get out, you seer. Go back to the land of Judah." So Amos was from the land of Judah. Tekoa was in Judah, was in the southern part. So he was a Southie in the northern part of Israel. He was from South Israel, but he was ministering in the northern part of Israel. He was a foreigner. He was not working in his hometown. He was working in a town far away from his hometown, in a needy place, okay, in the northern part of Israel, okay, where there's a lot of idol worship, where all the kings were bad. At least in southern kingdom, we had some good kings. Hezekiah was one, and then Jehoshaphat was one, and Josiah was one. But northern kingdom, every king was bad. Manasseh even sacrificed his own babies to the pagan king, and we can talk about that another time. And it's a difficult place. So he's working in the northern kingdom, but he's actually from the land of Judah. Verse 12 says, and this prophet, this priest tells him, Amos, you go back to the land of Judah. Verse 12, earn your bread there. Okay, that one day God spoke to me from that phrase. So the Lord asked me, do you do ministry to earn your bread? Because apparently Amaziah did his ministry. He was a priest in Bethel just to earn his bread. He thought everybody is also doing. He thought that's true of Amos as well. So why was Amos in the ministry? Amaziah assumed that Amos was in the ministry to earn his bread, because he says, you go back to your hometown and earn your bread there. It's a sad state of affairs. Why was Amos in the ministry? So that's a full message. Okay, I identified at least 5 or 6 directions from which the missionary call came to me. I just shared one. It came from the gruesome events around. It came from God. Amos 7:15. The Lord took me from tending the flock and said to me, go and prophesy. So the missionary call comes from God himself, because when you touch the heart of God, when you go near the heart of God, when you hear the lub-dub of God's heart, you know what you hear? Lost souls, perishing souls. That is why the last verse of book of Jonah says, Nineveh has 1 lakh, what's the population of Nineveh? 1,20,000 people. They don't know left hand from right hand. Inside God's heart are lost people. So the missionary call comes from God. It comes from Gehenna, hell. There's a place in the book of Amos, I think it's the 4th chapter, where Amos talks about Sodom and Gomorrah, Amos 4:11. And northern Israel also could have become like Sodom and Gomorrah. But before northern kingdom becomes like Sodom and Gomorrah, Amos has to run and preach a message of revival to them, so that they will be revived, and perhaps the judgment day can be going away from them. The fire of God came upon Sodom and Gomorrah. So missionary call comes from Gehenna, or hell. The rich man who went to hell wanted Abraham to send Lazarus as his missionary, as a missionary to his 5 brothers who are still on this earth. There was a missionary call from hell. The rich man in hell said, I have 5 brothers. Please send Lazarus back to the earth and let Lazarus preach to them. And Lazarus preaches to them, they will not come to this hell. Are we hearing the missionary call from hell? a missionary call that still comes from hell. You know, the rich man had 5 brothers, but I have more than 5 brothers. I have 1.4 crore. What's the population of India? 140 crore, right? What? Okay, you can Google it. 140 crore. India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. So I have no more than 5 brothers. You have more than 5 brothers. And they will go to hell. 140 crores at least. Okay, we have 140 crore brothers and sisters. The rich man in hell had only 5, but we have more. And these people will go to hell without knowing about Jesus. So are we hearing the call from Gehenna, from hell? Gehenna is the word Jesus used for hell. Are we hearing the call from God? So we hear these calls and then we do ministry. We lead that Sunday school. We lead that corporate fellowship. We give those tracts, not for money. Money is not even in the list. Even if we don't get money, we will still do this. Okay, but sad to say, Amazia was in the ministry for money. Wrong motivation. Okay. Kevin holding on to his lead. Mahima in the second place. Jaziel, Hannah, Manas. Okay, Dan is making a comeback 3 in a row.